relationships with women, and therefore can actually be in relationships with them that's not, you know, overly sexualized or only looking for one thing. All right. So I give you an example. I know it's fun to drink 29 beers. It's not fun to drink 29 beers and nearly die. That's sarcastic. But if I do this every weekend, it's probably not the best life choice. I think these are things that we know. So we understand that there are short-term pleasures. There are things that we want to do now. You know, it feels good to eat the candy bar. It feels good to do those things. But we also know that if we do those things all the time, so if I drink alcohol all the time, I know that I'm not going to be able to accomplish my goals in life. And ultimately, that's what's really fun. All right. Number 30, unsocial sociability. So we're fighting against our natural inclinations to be selfish and horrible because we know deep down that it's not the best thing for us. We know from that nominal world. Kant really believed that human nature was evil. He thought that if left unchecked, that we would be selfish and make bad decisions. But the paradox is that we had to be in community in order to survive. So if we had to be in community, then we might as well make decisions that were good for us and for all of us. So, last but not least, Kant in a nutshell. His entire ideology can be summed up in 3 questions. So what can I know? All right, if you can answer that, then you have 90% of Kant down. What can I know? I can know that there are 3 different types of knowledge. Okay, there's empirical knowledge, there's analytical knowledge, and there is synthetic a priori knowledge. All right, you can go back and check out what all that's about from before. What ought I to do? What should I do? Well, I know that there are hypothetical imperatives that I should do just to be a rational and reasonable adult. There are things that I should do. All right, I know that in order to fulfill my rational self-interest, that I should delay some of my pleasure to the long term rather than just take it all for the short term. Now, not all short-term pleasure is bad, but you know, you just can't have it, if you will, all the time. In order to accomplish your goals, you need to delay some of your short-term happiness and allow it to become long-term happiness. All right? And then there's also this categorical imperative. What ought I to do? Well, if I could tap into my intuition, my hopes, my dreams, my belief that humanity can one day be better, then I know that I can never treat other people as I can never use other people. I can never imagine another person close to me acting in the same way that I am. You know, if I'm going to do something bad, if you will, if I'm going to shoot heroin, I wouldn't want my older brother, who 5 years ago was in a set of very similar circumstances as I am, when he was 28, I wouldn't have want to have thought of him shooting heroin. So I won't do it because that person's close to me. And last but not least, the hardest thing to do is to say, well, if I don't want to believe that my brother would do that, then I shouldn't be prepared to believe that anybody should do that. That's the universal aspect of it. And so last but not least is the idea of what can I expect. So if I do what I ought to do, then what can I expect? Well, this is the part that's the hardest to pin down. If I do what I ought to do, then I should expect to live in a society that is better, because I am an acting moral agent and I'm doing the best that I can. If I'm doing the best that I can, then I can't force anybody else to do the best that they can, but the only thing I can expect is that society will eventually improve based on my example. That's it. That's it. So anywho, this has been one heck of a way for me to spend a Monday night. I hope that this is helpful to you. If it's not, then, well, go ahead and never ever do it again. Um, but yeah, just a little bit over 60 minutes. Just a little bit over a 60-minute lecture. It's a lot. So, but that's Kant. It's Kant in a nutshell, baby.